Hi, welcome to episode 1 of Cardio Confessions. My name is Dekel Quant, also known as Bowflex Barbie. And this series is a mini-series that will take you through my process of prep for my bodybuilding show this year. I am a IFBB Pro figure competitor. I have my first show of the season and my only show of the season coming up in November. And so I started prep about 3 weeks ago, and I have about a little under 11 weeks left. And this series, like I said, is just gonna take you through my experiences as I prepare for this show. And I thought, why not share it while I'm doing cardio and call it Cardio Confessions. And as I'm walking, I'm realizing this is gonna be challenging to not sound like I'm dying. So I'm gonna take my pace down a little bit so I don't be huffing and puffing into this mic. So I did put out some questions on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, at BowflexBarbie. But I put some stickers out on Instagram to get some questions for what you guys want me to talk about here on Cardio Confessions. But I figured this first episode would be a good chance for those of you who are not familiar with my journey and my bodybuilding experience to get caught up on that first. And then I'll just dive into some updates, what's going on with me physically, mentally, emotionally as I prepare at each point in my prep. So these episodes will be once a week. Full episodes are gonna be on YouTube. Clips will be on Instagram. And if you see me pausing a lot, it's because I'm trying not to huff and puff and pant, okay? So a little bit about my journey in bodybuilding. I started competing in 2015. I started aggressively chasing and intentionally chasing my pro status in 2019. And I have competed every single year since 2015, including 2020, which is when COVID, well, we know what happened, yeah. So I love the sport of bodybuilding. It is intense. It is considered an extreme sport because of all of the work and just things that you have to do to get ready for a stage, some of which we will talk about. I am a natural competitor, which means I do not use, and I have never used, performance enhancement drugs. I am completely natural, so yes, I do use supplements, protein, creatine, stuff like that, but nothing where I gotta get a prescription for, right? And I feel like the need to say that because, not the need, I don't really talk about that a lot, but it's very uncommon at the highest level of bodybuilding for people to be natural. So I do wanna share that. I have nothing against people that aren't. It takes a lot of hard work either way, but I just want to be transparent in that I am natural, and I also want to share that it's possible to be competitive and get to the highest level of the sport without the extra stuff, right? So I earned my pro status last year, 2023, I was gonna say 2023, at the Caribbean Grand Prix. And I went on about 6 days after winning my pro status to do my first pro show, which is the same show that I'm getting ready to do this year, the Ben Weider Natural. This is, like it sounds, a natural show, and it is actually an Olympia qualifier. For those of you who don't know, Olympia is the pinnacle of the IFBB Bodybuilding Federation. It is the most prestigious stage in the league, and so a lot of pro competitors compete with hopes of qualifying to step on that stage and compete amongst the best. So the show that I am doing in November is a qualifier for Olympia. I will be honest with you, honestly, I don't have I won't say I don't have the confidence that I'm going to win this show, but I really want to go there and be competitive, give the top placings a run for their money. I would love to place in the top 3. Last year I placed top 10, but I would love to place top 3, top 5 this year and just continue to improve. I spoke with my coach and at the end of last season, and we agreed that I do have a lot of improvements to make. But I think that's the beauty of bodybuilding. You're always improving. There's always something to do better and be better at. So right now I'm 11, like I said, about 11 weeks out. Cardio is not crazy. I have a step goal, which is why I also thought cardio confessions would be great, because I can do two things at once. Give updates on prep while doing cardio, getting more steps in each day. So I'm not doing any prescribed cardio other than 2 HIIT sessions a week right now. My diet is pretty manageable. I'm eating around 1,700 calories a day on my low carb days and a little under 2,000 on my high. And yeah, so I'm still having carbs, fats, 150 grams of protein each day. That doesn't really change between seasons, off season and prep. Mentally, I feel good. Like I said, I've been in prep for about 3 weeks, so I feel like I'm finding my groove. Emotionally, I feel up and down, just being a woman, you know. And then transformation-wise, I finally broke. I started my prep at 162 pounds, and my cycle came maybe my 2nd week of prep. So that obviously threw some things off, but now I'm balancing out, and I am now at 159 pounds today. So I broke the 160s, broke into the 150s, and yeah, I actually feel my body changing and dropping some of the fat, and that's the plan, to drop it slow and steady, preserve as much muscle as I can, because in the off season is when you build muscle. During prep and preparation for the stage is when you shed fat and try to maintain as much muscle as possible. So physically, that's what's happening. Mentally, I feel good, I feel strong. Emotionally, I feel good most days. And another question that I got that I wanna just touch on before I wrap up, in the Instagram feed that I put out yesterday, or poll that I put out, was about hormones and how do I balance hormones during prep. And so honestly, like, there's nothing special that I would say that I do. I do blood work at the start of prep, just to make sure there's nothing that I do need to like correct before going into prep. Typically I don't have any issues there. I think a big part of that is because I take a nice 6-month off season most years. When I was doing a lot of shows back to back and not giving my body a chance to recover and get back to its healthy state in between shows, was when I had an issue with hormonal imbalances. But giving your body the time it needs away from the stage and away from the, you know, extreme measures of diet and exercise that bodybuilding requires, it's beyond, and it's definitely more extreme than just like trying to upkeep a healthy weight or a healthy lifestyle. So taking that time away from the stage, and obviously still working out, still being intuitive about how I eat during off season is important. Still following some sort of structure is important, but definitely a lot more food, a lot more flexibility, not as much cardio, not as much intense training in the off season allows my body to, and my hormones to regulate on their own. And that's ideally what I want. I don't want to have to be on supplements or medications to do that, like I have been in the past. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't want to make this video super long, and I feel like it's already longer than I want it to be. But if you have questions, again, this is episode 1. If you have questions or things you want me to discuss in upcoming episodes of Cardio Confessions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I will watch them, I will read them, and I will include them in upcoming episodes. So until then, let me finish this cardio, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.